it's because like if you are not familiar with Japanese culture, if you're not familiar with Japanese like jokes and the innuendos and things like that, you're not going to enjoy sub because
Okay,
there's a lot of things in sub that you're just not going to get.
there you
So
go.
dub does westernize it a bit to make it like you can connect to the characters and you can get the jokes and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's a very logical and valid reason to watch dub over sub. But I'm one of those autistics that likes like history and studying different cultures. So I know a lot about the Japanese culture. So
Yeah.
I can appreciate those things.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with anybody who just watches subs too. It's,
Yeah.
you know, but there are people out there like let's not judge people because they want to hear it in their own language. Let's
Yeah.
not be
Yeah.
angry at people like that, you know?
I mean, there's some really good dubs out there too that
Oh
like
yeah.
I go back and rewatch an anime in the dub. You know, like the recent one, Solo Leveling. I would say watch the dub over the sub if you're a Western like American. Like the Solo Leveling voice actor for dub, just like he put his full voice Ussy in that. Like just he went hard, and it's
Okay.
amazing.
Can you do an? I feel like you're good at impressions. You got an impression?
Oh gosh,
I'm sorry.
you're putting me on the spot. No, not honestly, not
Okay.
really, because like there's a lot of like yelling and like screaming
Oh yeah,
and just
no.
like a lot of action in
Yeah.
that. And like the voice actors on TikTok, I
Okay.
don't know names. I'm sorry, but
That's fine.
he's talking about like how he actually like was bleeding from his like throat for how like hard he was going and like how much effort and he put into it. And so like yeah, no, I don't want
No, we're not doing that.
like
No,
No,
I
yeah, I
don't
don't
like
want a
yelling.
curdling scream. No.
No.
but yeah,
I'm good.
he went incredibly hard and like it was like it's such a good like listen to just how well he does the character.
There you go. All right.
All right.
Let's get back on to the scene, the track side. That's a good little side. It will call a side quit. Well, I like to call a
Yeah,
side.
we went on side quest.
A side
Yes.
piece. That's my side piece.
You just on a whole other thing, Shannon Sharp, today, aren't you?
You know how hard it was for me when he kept saying he goes hard. I'm like, you know,
He goes hard.
No, you mean hard on.
He goes real hard. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
you know, it's
all the biscuits and gravy.
Oh,
mhm.
always
Yeah,
turning
them
to
biscuits and
food.
gravy.
You fucking.
I fucking love Michael, bro. Let's get out of here before everyone cancels
All right.
me.
All right. First
Before it
scene.
gets too hard.
First scene. First scene. No biscuits and gravy, just the first scene. All right. So, can you give us a little context to what's going on in this scene? What's happening? And what made you want to choose this scene?
So, and the first thing I chose, it's a bit, it's probably one that doesn't like outright show autism unless you kind of have that awareness and like once you understand more about autism, like it probably like you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So the scene is like Luffy is in a bar and he's getting made fun of, like he's getting told that he's like some low life pirate that's no name pirate, like he's not all that, and like this other pirate's like I'm better than you, very posturing and just like absolutely like beating the shit out of Luffy, and Luffy's not fighting back, and told Zoro not to fight back, and like the reason why I picked it because like that kind of goes back to where like if you make fun of me, like I'm not gonna like I don't care. Like I'm just gonna be able to shrug it off because like that's kind of like my rules that I live by, right? Like in autistic people, we really like our rules, we like our, you know, sense of justice, like a personal sense of justice where, you know, what I find to be justified, I'm going to follow that. And I'm going to follow that to probably extreme, ways and sometimes to the detriment of myself. And so like that kind of like really showcases that in this scene. And we were also talking about earlier like the pain tolerance too. Like autistic people have high pain tolerances and like and Luffy definitely displays that.
Yeah. When you talk about these rules, what what are these rules? What are they connected to? Is it morals? Is it values? Is it ethics? Is it, I just like all the yellow M&Ms? Like, what are you talking about?
So
I get what you're talking about. I'm just trying to lead you
Yeah.
into a good conversation.
no. Like, yeah, I get it. And like when it kind of comes to rules, yeah, it's kind of the things that help our brains stay regulated, right? Like the things that we have to follow to make sure that we feel comfortable, that we're not too anxious. So yeah, it could be like I only eat yellow M&Ms. Like that could be one of those things. You know, it could be like if I, you know, take a shower, I have to listen to music, because that helps with the regulation process of like the overstimulation. You know, it could be like the way we do things, like when we approach a task, like we plan out that task and like we have to follow that. And like we set routines to our days and like how we do things. And if there's disruptions to those, like it can be very dysregulating, it can be very overwhelming, and we we just kind of stick to them. And it takes a lot for us to make those adjustments too.
Yeah. Uh, so as everyone knows, right, I work in higher education, and that routine and rules is completely thrown off when you're freshman year. It gets thrown off when students go back home or go on vacation, then they come back. Again, it throws everything off. What are the rules? How am I supposed to act? Now I'm this college individual. When you get into your sophomore, junior year, again, it changes. When you go back into the real world, again, it changes. And so my students will come to me completely deregulated, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm having panic attacks. Well, we know what's going on. You just went through another change. It's not difficult, but everyone seems to think that it's not that big of a deal, or it shouldn't be that big of a deal, or like, why is this, messing me up? And it just does, because you have to refocus and realign back what you need to do and why you need to do it, and get more it's about getting comfortable too with it, right? In that new routine, that new rule, that new mindset. When should you get up for your classes? When should you get up for work? When do you need to take a shower by? What do you need to eat during the day? Right? You have to think about everything. And all these things are somewhat black and white. And if it gets thrown off a little bit, it fucks some things up. You miss the bus, flat tire, fucks things up. We all have rules.
Plan changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we all have rules. I like to say that. It's just some of us that are autistic, right? This neurodivergent mind, more important. The more important. And then people were like, well, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Me, you, and Spencer be like, I'm not fine. I'm not fine. Don't tell me it's fine, asshole. I'm freaking out right now.
Yeah. It's like you told me that we were having dinner at 6:00. It's 6:15. Like, why aren't we having dinner right now? Yeah, like, oh, it's fine. I'm just getting ready. Like, but you said we were having dinner at 6:00. Why aren't you ready already? Like, what? Like, why does it take? Like, there was no preparation. Like, you didn't tell me like, oh, hey, I'm running behind. Like, usually that's enough, right? But like, if you just tell me like 6:00 and then all of a sudden 6:15, 6:30 rolls around, you're like, I have no new information. I'm starting to get stressed out and dysregulated because I planned for 6:00. Yeah, and then but there's no communication.
There's no
And
communication.
yeah, like lack of communication can frustrate anyone, but for us, it can be dysregulating.
Yep.
Like that can lead to a meltdown or a shutdown. So yeah.
Spence, you have any questions that you specifically for him about that scene? Because we talked about a few other things that he touched on lightly.
No, I mean, like, I don't have a question. I just kind of want to say that I think it's also frustrating in that scenario too, is just the fact that they don't care, or they seem like they don't care about the fact that your time is precious, right? And so that can also be very frustrating, because it doesn't seem like they're taking you seriously or your time seriously. And to be honest, for me especially, I think that's been one of the things that always frustrates me when like when they're running late. I'm just like, whoa, what's happening? Da da da. And they're just like, chill. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that'll settle me down. That'll settle me down.
Let me
Thank
just
you.
stop being autistic.
Let me just stop here.
Yeah.
I'll put my Legos down, all right? And then we'll
Let me release the demons.
what the fuck?
I need an old priest and a young priest.
I need a young. I need an Irish one. That's what I need. I need
an
a good
old
one.
priest and a young priest.
There you go. You got it. It was I'm forgetting the movie that we just referenced. The, Austin Powers.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
there you
Yeah.
go.
He was there.
I was thinking, so with me, my students know, love them to death. They know I usually I'm running late. And so they planned it in their mind. Nas is running 7-10 minutes late no matter what. The meeting's at 3. You know, he probably ain't gonna come get me until 3:07. So they're pre-programmed already. Some of my clients, I know I need to get there at 3 because like they will legit be freaking out and like running to the front desk. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is he? So I try to be more, but I lose. I got that time blindness. I'm having a conversation. I ain't fucking paying attention to the clock. I'm sitting with you as a human. We're gonna rock out as humans and just talk. So today I went and got one of my humans, and she was like, "Why are you 3 minutes early?"
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop.